The number one way to get into the best shape of your life without giving the food you love or endless amounts of exercise. Hey team, and welcome to this week's episode of the Inspired Show. And this week's episode is an absolute game changer for those that want to become the best version of themselves, but most importantly, maintain it long term and make that real lifestyle change. But before we delve into this week's episode, don't forget to smash a like on this video, share it with somebody who's struggling right now, and let me know any big takeaways down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our page as well, because we drop content like this every single week. And make sure you check out our social media handles where we post daily content to help you become the best version of yourself. And don't forget, also check out the exclusive community, which has a ton of stuff to help you become that best version of yourself. So this week's episode is all about transforming your life, not just physically, but mentally as well. And I'm going to share with you the number one way to get into the best shape possible using my 5-step system. This is a system that I use myself personally to get into incredible shape, but most importantly, maintain it. And it's the same system I use with all my clients to get these absolutely incredible results as well. And if you take a little bit of time to put these things into action, I guarantee you're going to see the same results as well. But before we go into it, one thing I've got to say is you've got to take action from this. Hoping, wishing is not going to do the work. Make sure you implement and take action, and I guarantee you, you're going to see results. So my 5-step system is something that I created off the back end of my experiences of struggling with emotional eating and stress drinking, and ultimately not being that best version of myself, where I was overweight, unhappy, lacking in confidence, and just wasn't living life to my values. I'm going to go through each step one by one so you can utilize it on your journey so you can become that best version of yourself. So step number one is all about creating a powerful reason to change. The reason why we do this is so many people rely on motivation to get started and keep going. The thing with motivation is it comes and it goes. When it's there, it's absolutely amazing. It's like gold dust. It's easier to get to the gym. It's easier to eat those meals. It's easier to get your steps in. But when it isn't there, it is 10 times harder. And 9 times out of 10, motivation isn't there. So we need to start focusing on the reasons to change. And I can guarantee you've all got great reasons already. You want more confidence. You want more energy. You want to be that inspiration to your children. Maybe your health. But when push comes to shove, at this moment in time, they're not powerful enough, because when you get the days when you're demotivated, you're fatigued, you're tired, and you can't be bothered, you're actually more content staying the same despite those reasons of wanting to change. So we need to make those even more powerful. So take each one of those reasons and really think about how it's impacting your life right now. In what way, shape, or form? So let's take confidence, for example. How is your confidence being impacted? Is it stopping you wearing the clothes you want to wear? Is it impacting intimacy? Is it stopping you taking family photos, taking the children swimming? In what way is it impacting your life? And the deeper you can get on this, the more powerful it's going to become. Pair that up with visualization. Visualize that future version of yourself that has those higher standards. What does it look like? What does it feel like? How are you showing up for yourself and others? Are you wearing nicer clothes? Do you have more energy with the kids? Are you more intimate with your partner? When we combine where we are right now, visualizing who we want to become, that becomes a superpower to create a powerful reason to change. That is your starting point and pillar number one. Pillar number two is all about expectations. A lot of people have skewed expectations where they're setting the bar so high that they cannot hit it. For example, people want to be losing 3, 4, 5 pounds every single week, losing 2 stone in a month, eating 100% clean and exercising every single day. But when reality of life kicks in, that's just unattainable for most people. And even if you did attain it, it's probably not something you could keep at without burnout. So we need to be realistic of our goals and where we are with things, and realistic with the targets we've set ourselves in order to achieve those goals. So what does that look like in reality? Well, from a weight loss point of view, 1 to 2 pounds per week. That's all you need. Anything more than that in the grand scheme of things is going to be water weight or muscle loss, which we do not want. If you're a little bit larger, you're going to be at the 2 pound mark. If you're a little bit lighter, then you're going to be towards the half a pound, maybe a pound per week, but that'll compound over time. That is realistic. But also think about the things you need to be doing in order to achieve that. So if your diet at the moment is very, very poor, completely overhauling it, as you've been doing every single Monday, and failing by Friday is not going to work. Start with small changes. For example, breakfast for week 1, breakfast and lunch for week 2, and then layer it in week after week. So a lot more realistic. The same goes for your step target. If you're only doing 2,000 steps a day at the moment and jumping up to 10,000 steps a day, it's doable, but it's probably not manageable. It's overwhelming, it's stressful, and you're probably going to falter and fail. So instead of going from 2 to 10, maybe 2 to 3 and build up over time. And what you do is you compound these small wins, build momentum. So that's step number 2. Now, step number 3, super important, and this is efforts over outcomes. One of the biggest mistakes a lot of people are doing are focusing solely on the outcome of the weight loss, which can be problematic for 2 things. One, if you achieve the weight loss without focusing on efforts, it can be really easy to regain that weight. Think about back to when you've done maybe a fad diet in the past. For example, the Cambridge diet. Who's done the Cambridge diet? This is something I've seen a lot of people doing, where they replace their meals with shakes and have 1 meal a day. They lose a ton of weight, but once they reach their goal, they revert back to old behaviors, old efforts, and they regain the weight. The second problem is, if you're focusing solely on the outcome, you could have a really good week of hitting your efforts, but because you're not focused on that, you look at the outcome and you're not getting the outcome you wanted, you can get frustrated, feels like it's not working. But the thing is, you're not going to lose weight every single week because weight will fluctuate. It'll go up and down due to things like time of the month, how hard you've trained, the type of food you've eaten, bowel movements. That's why you want to focus on the effort you're putting in rather than the outcome, because if you compound the efforts over time, you're going to get the outcome over time. And from a weight loss point of view, it'll zigzag up and down because your weight is going to fluctuate day by day. So think about how you've done with your food. How well have you done with your movement? How well have you done with managing stressful situations? Have you got to bed on time? And then each and every week, instead of looking for perfection, look at what's gone well, how can you improve that, celebrate it, reinforce the behavior, and then look at what you can improve going forward as well. What you then start to do is you start to build new behaviors, creating new neural pathways to help you create new habits as well. So think about it like this. You wake up every single day and you brush your teeth. That is an effort. The outcome of that effort is healthy teeth and gums. Now, you don't wake up super motivated to brush your teeth, you simply just do it. And that's because you've done those efforts day in, day out since you were a child. And that's the same for your health and fitness journey. The more we compound these efforts, the more they become automatic for you. Which takes us on to step number 4. One of the most important steps of this 5-step system, and that is understanding your bottlenecks. So your bottlenecks are things that will hold you back from being consistent. Things like procrastination, which means I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll start after my holiday. You're always waiting for that perfect opportunity to start, which means you're never going to get real change, because when life gets chaotic, you fall back to old behaviors and end back up in square one. Another bottleneck is emotional eating. You use food as your therapist. When you're sad, you eat. When you're bored, you eat. When you're overwhelmed, you eat. And I know it works really well because I'm a recovering emotional eater. So we need to look at ways at how we can overcome the emotional eating, identifying what the triggers are, have better coping mechanisms in order to reach our goals. For some people, it's going to be stress drinking. Very similar to the emotional eating, you're using alcohol as a way to deal with what's going on in your life at the moment, but has a massive knock-on effect in terms of reaching our goals. You then also got things like boundaries, where you put everybody else first and yourself at the bottom of the pile, leaving you mentally and emotionally drained with no energy to work on yourself. You've got poor sleep, lack of support, lack of accountability, and all these things usually intertwine, and a lot of people have 1, 2, maybe even 3 bottlenecks to be working on at any one time. But unless you work on these and put the groundwork in, you're always going to struggle. Which takes us on to step number 5, which is consistency with your healthy eating and your regular movement. Now, this is a very important step because without consistency, we're never going to get the results you want. Now, the issue for a lot of people is they bypass steps 1 to 4 and go straight to step number 5. And they try and focus on being consistent with their food, with their movement, and they do it week in, week out. And this might be like you, where you're starting again every single Monday, starting the diet, getting back to the gym and getting back to your steps, only for it to falter and fail when life gets chaotic, it gets busy, and you're demotivated. It's like trying to build a house on sand. You haven't got the foundations there, and eventually that house is going to crumble down. So take a little bit of time to work through the first 4 steps. Once you get through the first 4 steps, you can then be consistent in step number 5 to reach your goals. And what will happen is these will compound over time to help you become that best version of yourself. Now, if this is something you need help putting together with, this is the exact thing we do inside our exclusive community for less than a cup of coffee a day. If you want help, support, and accountability to put all this together, make sure you check the link down below and get yourself inside the community where we can help you achieve your goals. But thank you so much for watching and taking part in today's episode. Take action, hit those goals. And if you need anything, please reach out to me on any of my social media